Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Clementina Zarani, and I want to storytelling about the great gunpowder plot of 1605. Hello, everyone. Today, I want to take you back to a cold, dark November night in London. Over 400 years ago, we are going to explore the one of the most shocking treason plots in the British history. It is a history filled with secret letters, hidden explosives beneath the Parliament, and the dramatic midnight arrest. This is even changed English culture forehead and gave birth to a famous modern symbol, the Guy Fawkes Mask, which many of you might recognize today as the face of the internet group Anonymous. Let us dive into the mystery of the gunpowder plot. To fully understand this conspiracy, we must look at the reclamation tension in England during the early 17th century. For decades, England had been divided by bitter conflict between Protestant and Catholic. When King James I ascended the throne in 1603, the Catholic minority hoped he would be more tolerant and grant them religious freedom. However, King Charles disappointed them. He continued the harsh law, punishing Catholics who refused to attend the Protestant crusade and forcing priorities into hiding. Deeply, deeply angry and frustrated, a small group of radical Catholics decided that peaceful negotiation was no longer an option. They believed that the only way to save their religions was through a violent revolution, led by a charismatic named Robert Casby. They forced a secret alliance. Their plan was simple but terrified discrimination. They would blow up of the House of the Lord during the stage opening of Parliament. By doing this, they would eliminate King James I, the royal family, and the entire government in a single second. To excuse this plan, the Plutus retained a small cathedral right beneath the Parliament building. This cellar was perfect for their dark secret. Over several months, they quietly smuggled 36 barrels of the gunpowder into the basement, hiding them under piles of the firewood. The amount of gunpowder they gathered was massive. One expert estimated it was more than enough to completely level the Parliament building and damage every structure with a half-mile radius. The group needed an explosive expert to guard the gunpowder and light the fuse on the big day. They chose a brave, experienced soldier named Guy Fawkes. Fawkes has found in Europe was and knew exactly how to handle military explosives. His, he stayed in the dark cellar of the day, waiting for the morning of November 15, 1605. Then, when the king will arrive, however, as the death grew closer, the politics faced a moral dilemma. They realized that explosion will not only kill the king but also several Catholic politicians who will be attending the ceremony. Waiting to protect his friends, one of the conspirators sent an anonymous warning letter to a Catholic nobleman named Lord Monteagle. The letter urged him to stay away from Parliament on the no, no, November 50th century. Stating the Parliament will receive a treble below, yet they will not see who hurt them. This latter was the fatal mistake was ruining every Lord Montague became highly suspicious and immediately showed the letter to the king's chief minister. The government did not take it lightly. On the night of November 14, they housed before the planet explanation, royal guards concluded a massive throat assault of the palace beneath the parliament. Just past midnight, the guard entered the dark basement and discovered a tall man dressed in a cloak, bust, boat, and the spurs in was Guy Fawkes. Next to him, they found matches, torchwood, and the 36 barrel of gunpowder hidden under the wood. Guy Fawkes was arrested on the spot, preventing that could have been the biggest terrorist attack of British history. Fawkes was taken to the information tower of the London. At first, he was incredibly stunned. He refused to reveal the name of his beloved conspiration, boldly declaring of his chapter that he wanted to blow the king and his Scottish lord back to their mountains. However, after days of several fortune ordinary decreed by King James I, Fawkes finally broke the signature of conversation. Revealing the names of the other plotters, the government quickly hunted down the rest of the group. They were all executed for the high treason. To celebration his miracle survive, King George I ordered the citizens of the London to light great bonfires all across the city on the night of November 15. This traditional grew into a massive national holiday that British people still celebrate today, known as Bonfire Night or Guy Fawkes Night. Every year on November 15, people across the UK light fireworks, building massive bonfires, and burn effigies of the Guy Fawkes while reciting the famous poem. Remember the 50th of November, the powder reason and the plot. The gunpowder plot reaches a lesson about how to close history can come completely changing its course. If Guy Fawkes had successfully lit that fuse, the entire British royal family and government would have died, and England would have fallen into total chaos. Today, Guy Fawkes' face has been transformed by pop culture into a global symbol of rebellion against tyranny. Yet, the real history reminds us that he was a man caught in dangerous ways in relationship, conflict, and political explanation. The fate of modern rebellion, the anonymous Max. What to say on camera? Did you know? The white Max with the sharp mustache that you often see in the internet or worn by the hacker group Anonymous is actually the face of the Guy Fawkes. It's quite ironic that 17th century Catholic rebel has now become the ultimate global symbol from the modern digital rebellion. A 4 years old royal traditional. Here is fascination fact because of the trauma for his 1605 accident. A unique traditional is still kept alive today in 2026. Every single year before the kings open the parliament, the royal guards, known as the yeomen of the guard, must officially search the cellar with the lanterns to make sure there is no gunpowder hidden underground. Hidden underground. This ritual has been repeated over per 100 years. That's all for me. Thank you.